Welcome to the breakdown. I'm your host, Diane Rimbert, avid reader, award winning literary blogger, and the founder of Diamond's Literary World, which is my footprint in the literary industry. Today, I want to talk to you about a book that deals with an issue that I'm very, very passionate about. And it's from a author that I've grown to admire and respect so much. I'm talking about Miss Bernice L. McFadden. She is the author. She's probably best known for her novel Sugar. My personal favorite is the Book of Harlan. And I like the way she writes. She recently did a Zoom with Terry McMillan, interviewed her for the relaunch or the 20th anniversary of Sugar. And she talked about some of her other novels, The Gathering Waters, I believe is the title, and a few others. And this book just stood out to me. What was so amazing is Bernice, the publishing company had a sale on her books not too long ago. So I may have them in paperback, I don't know. But so I put them on my Kindle, and out of everything that was on my Kindle, I picked up The Warmest December. Had no idea it talked about domestic violence until I got into it. Well, the main character is Kenzie. Kenzie is visiting, or she's spending time with her alcoholic father who is on his deathbed. He's about to make his transition. And what's ironic is Kenzie hates her father because of the horrific childhood that her and her brother Malcolm experienced. Like I stated, her father was an alcoholic, very abusive to not only her mother, but to her and her brother as well, which drove her mother now to become an alcoholic. And so there was a lot of tumultuous fights. Here these little children are, they went from, she talked about how they went from full, course meals that were prepared and to like burnt TV dinners and things like that. It was just how the father at 8 years old was sending her to the liquor store to go and get his vodka. It was crazy. And they would get beat for the slightest thing. The mother would also, and it's almost like she lost her voice. So she turned to the bottle. So Kenzie, she grows to hate her father. And she's even at his bedside wishing him to die. When these moments would occur, she would wish death upon her father. And now, as she's visiting daily, she's becoming remorseful and learning to forgive her father. And it all began with this nurse who would come and check on her father, check on her. Come to find out, there was a history there. And you'll have to read the book to find out how, the history, how they're tied together. And the nurse begins to explain Hilo is her father, his childhood, and how his childhood it repeated itself with his own children. And in hearing this, she began to forgive her father. And I forgot to mention that Kenzie started picking up the bottle as well. She became an alcoholic. It affected jobs. It affected relationships. Like, it was sad to see the downward spiral of these people who were middle class, if you will. And they had no one to turn to but her mother's mother. Come to find out, her father's mother was an alcoholic also. His whole family suffered with alcohol abuse. And so, um, she turned to the bottle, but she was seeking help. Her mother sought help. So she really was going to witness her father die. But in that process, the beauty of forgiveness started blossoming. She started to understand her father. And the one thing that I got from this, I'm going to share with you guys. You cannot break generational curses unless, well, let me go back and say, hurt people, okay? Which becomes a generational curse. The healing cannot begin until the cycle is broken. And you saw where the cycle was being broken and the healing started to take place. That's what I gather from this book. This was a really, really, really deep book. And I love Bernice McFadden. I love the fact that Terry McMillan speaks so highly of her and her writing skill. I had to concur with that. I love her writing. And it almost made me want to immediately jump into something else by her. But I have so many other authors that I want to bring to you guys by the end of 2020. And so I was unable to do, well, I forced myself not to open it. And not that I was unable to, I forced myself not to open another book. But I want to know what you guys think about The Warmest December. What were your thoughts as you were reading this book? Tell me, your favorite book by Bernice McFadden. A lot of people say Sugar, but I'm telling you, my favorite book was The Book of Harlan. I learned so much from The Book of Harlan. But tell me your thoughts on The Warmest December. Tell me which book I should read next by her. I am open to suggestions. I'm sure I will love whatever you guys recommend. If not, then I'll let the mood decide. But let me hear your thoughts. I like the banter or the communication between us when it comes to these books. So let me know. And I appreciate all of the lovely comments that you leave in the comment section. I really do. I appreciate them so much. It makes me want to go harder. I tell you that all the time, but I'm very sincere in what I say. So before I go, I just want to give a shout out to a couple of people, a few booktubers on here, people who I look for on the regular. I'm so hooked on Kay the Reader's channel. Behind the Pages Strawberry Style. Of course, my reading twin, Robert White of Robert's Reading Room and Reviews, Books, Beauty, and Stuff, Mr. Jonathan Royal. Urban Reviews Online is one that you guys want to check out as well. There are a list of others. I know I'm missing somebody, but I do apologize. There's so many of us now. I think the pandemic has allowed the time for us to, whereas we can't meet in bookstores or we can't do the book clubs in person, we're able to now gather here in a setting such as this and talk about our favorite books or the latest book, because you can meet a reader and just feel like you've met your best friend, and you guys can talk for hours and hours and hours, or an instant friendship can form over books. Every one of these people that I mentioned to you, I have met them through books. Okay, I'll say that again. Every person that I just mentioned to you or recommended to you, we bonded through books. So I want to thank you guys for taking the time to watch the video. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for all of the comments, as I stated. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please take a moment to do so now. Please feel free to tell everybody what we're doing over here on the breakdown, and please feel free to share the video. Until next time, Happy reading and be blessed.